In a political twist few expected, reports from multiple Arab and Western officials have confirmed that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is preparing to lobby U.S. President Donald Trump directly about the United Arab Emirates' alleged military support for the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, in Sudan. A conflict that the world has long ignored, a Muslim country destabilized, and now, two of the most powerful Arab rulers, the Saudi and Emirati crown princes, are quietly turning against each other. And the catalyst? Sudan. The country continues to suffer while the rest of the Ummah stands by in silence. Sources revealed that MBS recently held a phone call with Sudanese Armed Forces commander Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. During this call, Burhan reportedly told MBSE, "There is no path to ending this war unless the United States applies pressure on the UAE." Burhan and multiple independent investigators assert that the strength of the RSF is not a coincidence. It is not at all hidden that it was the UAE who was fueling the war in Sudan for its own political gains. Abu Dhabi has denied all allegations, but the evidence collected by non-governmental organizations, journalists, and military monitors paints a very different picture. And inside that phone call, MBS reportedly made a promise. "I will raise this with Trump." A promise that has now become a geopolitical earthquake. In this week's meeting, Mohammed bin Salman met Donald Trump at the White House. There was supposed to be discussion and trade based on arms deals, nuclear cooperation, and AI partnerships. But apart from all these issues, there was one more issue that was raised up: the humanitarian crisis in Sudan. Trump revealed that he didn't care about Sudan at all, but as MBS raised this issue to him, now he has started to do something about it.
Working with the Crown Prince was amazing because he mentioned Sudan yesterday, and he said, "Sir, you're talking about a lot of wars, but there's a place on earth called Sudan, and it's horrible what's happening." And I viewed it as being just sort of a freelance, no government, no this, no that, and he explained the whole culture and the whole history, and it was very interesting to hear. Really amazing, actually, to hear. And you know, we've already started working on that, okay? He said that would be the greatest thing you can do. That would be greater than what you've already done. That was your expression. Is that a correct expression? Pretty good.
But as noble as this action may seem, there lies a hidden message behind it. Some now perceive this as an attempt by MBS to create a rift between Trump and MBZ. MBZ refers to Mohammed bin Zayed, the president of the UAE. While the public sees nothing but silence behind the scenes, something else is happening. Several regional analysts confirmed an information war is already underway online. UAE-linked accounts are trying to discredit journalists who expose RSF atrocities, while Saudi-linked accounts are amplifying reports proving those same atrocities. A silent war is going on between MBS and MBZ. This is now a Riyadh versus Abu Dhabi narrative war across the digital battlefield. Now that Trump has officially announced his intentions regarding Sudan, it means the UAE's role in Sudan is formally under American scrutiny, which is something Abu Dhabi had desperately tried to avoid. Once, MBZ and MBS were inseparable allies, but today, they have turned as silent enemies. If UAE builds Burj Khalifa, Saudi soon started building even taller building than Burj Khalifa. If Dubai became a tourist hub, Saudi too began competing with the UAE under the banner of Vision 2030. The level of competition is just insane. And now the involvement of the UAE in Sudan's crisis has given Saudi a golden opportunity to slam and attack the UAE. One thing needs to be said very clearly. Saudi raising the issue of Sudan is definitely noble, and we hope that the catastrophe unfolding in Sudan will be controlled as soon as possible. But the intention behind raising this issue by Saudi is not entirely pure. Egypt and Turkey are now backing the Sudanese army too. And as another analyst put it, when Egypt and Saudi Arabia align, it becomes the Arab consensus. The UAE is now standing alone. Sudan's war, which erupted in April 2023, has terminated tens of thousands, displaced more than 13 million people, destroyed entire cities, and unleashed unimaginable horror in Darfur. The RSF, accused of mass assault, ethnic cleansing, slavery, and executions, is allegedly being funded and armed by a Muslim country, the UAE. This is the heartbreaking reality. And now MBS, another Muslim leader, must ask a non-Muslim president for help to stop a Muslim country's interference in another Muslim country. This is the state of the Ummah today. Yes, we totally hope that the outcome may be positive. If America pressures the UAE, if the RSF's supply lines close, if the SAF regains control, and if Sudan stabilizes, then perhaps MBS's lobbying could help save lives. But it should never have come to this. The Ummah should not have needed Trump. Muslims should not be begging non-believers to stop believers from helping believers. This crisis has exposed our lack of unity, our lack of leadership, our reliance on foreign powers, and the geopolitical ego battles of the Gulf elites. When Muslims cannot even prevent Muslim countries from enabling assault, what does that say about our condition? What is happening between MBS and MBZ is more than politics. It is a mirror held up to the Muslim world, a mirror showing that Muslim leaders compete instead of unite, and foreign presidents decide the fate of Muslim lands. This is not strength, this is weakness. The disaster in Sudan was allowed to happen only because Muslim hands armed one side, and Muslim hands are now begging outsiders to stop the other. The cracks between MBS and MBZ are a warning. When unity is replaced by ambition, when ego replaces brotherhood, the Ummah always pays the price. That's all for today. If you found the video informative, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Jazakum Allahu khairan.